guys. I'm here to read chapter 10. It's the very last chapter of Clementine. You know, though, before I get started, I like to just recap what happened in the previous chapter. Clementine's mom washed her hair. She was tired of seeing the marker in her hair, and so she washed that, and then Clementine made some glasses for her brother and her out of bologna. And then Clementine ran around the house or the apartment collecting things and created a hat for Margaret, and Margaret ended up getting her something too, and they apologized to each other. And so I'm wondering if they're going to stay friends or if they're going to have another issue. But the very last part of chapter 9, we learned that Margaret's going to a party at Clementine's house, and Clementine had no idea about this party. So she said usually surprise parties are birthdays or going away parties, and it's not her birthday. So I'm going to start chapter 10. I want you to continue thinking, what kind of character is Clementine? Is she changing? Has she already changed, and why? I want you to continue checking your predictions and seeing if they're correct, or if you had to change them a little bit based on reading more. I'm going to start chapter 10. I raced back to my apartment. My parents were in their bedroom. That's right, a chocolate cake with vanilla frosting, my mom was saying to someone on the phone. Goodbye and good riddance. Should be in red icing. Make sure they spell her name right, I heard my dad say. Then my mom spelled Clementine, and she said she'd be over to pick it up soon. There wasn't much time. Well, I guess I'll go clean my room, I said, extra loud as I walked through the living room, and I tried to make it sound as if these words were used to come out of my mouth. Yep, I'll just be cleaning like crazy this afternoon. My dad came out and squinted at me, and then sat down and read his Boston Globe. My mother just glanced at me, and she passed by to help my brother with his puzzle. Maybe when I'm done, I'll clean Radish's room too, I tried, and then I'll go do my homework. If you need me to help with anything or solve any more problems like the Great Pigeon War, just come and get me. Okay, Clementine, my parents said, but they didn't even look up this time. So it was probably too late. Just in case it wasn't, I got the spray bottle of cleaner and some paper towels, because even though I had never actually cleaned my room, I know that's the first step. Except I didn't know what to do next. I wanted my room to look like Margaret's, like a magazine picture, but I didn't know how to do it. The problem was, everything already looked great to me. Luckily, I knew what my parents would like me to clean. I dragged out everything from the black hole, which remember was what Dad called under her bed, and piled it on top of my bed. And you would not believe how much stuff came out. 4 shoes, 3 brushes, and too many hair clips to count. Socks, a really crunchy Easter peep, and the top hat that had been missing from the Monopoly game for 2 years. A Mr. Potato Head nose, 3 library books, my book report due last Monday, Friday's Saturn sentences, some more socks, a Halloween mask. This is what came out of the black hole, y'all. I'm wondering if any of your under the beds look like that if you were to clean it out. I know mine did a time or two when I was your age. The skirt I pretended I lost, 2 flashlights, a mitten, a green plastic trapezoid, and taking it easy in Everglades snow globe. Half a button Polka Dotty's favorite rubber mouse, Mom's yoga video, and Dad's needle nose pliers. 45 cents, even more socks. I got the things all piled up on my bed, and even though they looked fine to me, I started to clean them. I squirted everything with lots of cleaner and rubbed hard with the paper towels. I squirted and I rubbed all afternoon. It started to get dark outside, but nothing got cleaner. Everything just got wetter and covered with glumps of wet paper towel. Suddenly my eyes were crying and they wouldn't stop, and that's when my parents came in. I just got some cleaner in my eyes is all, I told them. I'm doing really great cleaning up in my room. But even I didn't believe that. Okay, fine, I said, wiping away the tears so I could see how mad they were at me. I am sorry, sorry, and I won't be like this anymore. Like what, Clementine? Mom asked. What are you talking about? Like whatever you don't want, I said. I won't talk so much and I'll clean up my room for real, and I will think about the consequences before I do stuff, and I won't do stuff anymore. I will never lose my homework because I will never lose anything, and I will sit so still you will think, hey, is that Clementine or just a statue of Clementine? And I will never bring another note home that says Clementine had a difficult day at school today. And I will bring hundreds of notes home that say, wow, Clementine certainly pays attention in school, and the underneath of my bed will look like the underneath of a normal person's bed, and my hands will always be where they belong, and I will take piano lessons again, but this time I will sit on the bench the whole time, and then I ran out of air and I took a big gulp. I won't be like me anymore. And then I'll be the easy one too, as easy as celery. So you don't have to get rid of me, which I know about because I heard you say, one's all we need. And then I heard you order a cake that says, goodbye and good riddance, Clementine. My parents both ran over to me and hugged me at the same time, a hug sandwich. Then they took my hands and brought me out to the dining room. And there was Margaret and her mother, and Mitchell, with my brother on his shoulders, all looking at me. I scrubbed my face to make sure there weren't any tears left, even though I did not care what Mitchell thought because he's not my boyfriend. My brother yelled, "Prize!" and everybody else yelled, "Surprise!" And then they stepped out of the way so they could see the dining room table. And on it was a cake, all right. But it didn't say goodbye and good riddance, Clementine. It said goodbye and good riddance. Above 1,000 frosting pigeons. And then under it, it said, thank you, Clementine, hero of the Pigeon War. Oh. Well, what about the one's all we need thing? I asked. What about that? My mom and dad smiled really, really big then. Wait right here, sport, Dad said. He went to the hall and came back with a big box. Open it up. Okay, so really quick, I just want you to make a quick prediction what's in the box. What do you think? So I did. And do you know what was in there? A kitten. I am not kidding you. There was only one left, Dad said, and we told them, one's all we need. I lifted the kitten out of the box and took him into the bathroom to get him a name. Right away, I found the most exquisite word. I held him up on my cheek and I told him his name, and he started to purr, which filled up a space in my ears that had been empty since Polka died. When I came back out, I saw Margaret wanting to touch my kitten, and I saw her tell her hands to be quiet about that because he was mine and he was new. Okay, my next question is, what do you think that she named him? Something from your bathroom. What do you think she named him? I wanted to say, the rule is no touching my kitten because it's the rule. But I didn't. Instead, my mouth opened up and said, "Want to pet moisturizer, Margaret?" Which was a very big surprise, let me tell you. "We know it's not the same as having Polka Dotty back," my mom started. "He's different," my dad said. "I know," I told them. "He's perfect." Then I looked up and saw that everything else was perfect too. My mother in her overalls, my comedian father, my brother who didn't get it stuck with a fruit name, Margaret in her Margaret hat, Mitchell slicing the Clementine the hero cake, my not from a magazine apartment. So when Margaret's mother came over and said, "Tomorrow after school I'm taking both of you girls to my hairdresser to fix up those haircuts," I almost said, "No thanks," because I didn't want to change a single thing. But she was smiling at me, and that looked perfect too. So I smiled back and said, "Great!" And then I passed out the cake, and I was extremely polite because I served everyone else a slice first, and then at the very end, I took one. 2. Okay, fine. Alright guys, so that is the end of our book, Clementine. Now what's really neat is there are other books. There are other Clementine books. And at the back of this book, they actually give you the first chapter of the next book. It's the Very Talented Clementine. It looks like this. There's a couple other Clementine books that you can enjoy too. I really enjoy her. She's a fun character, and I feel like she learned a lot, especially towards the end of the book. She learned to appreciate herself as herself, and she also learned to appreciate her family as them, and realize that perfect isn't clean and what looks like a magazine all the time. Perfect is that you're happy and okay with how things are going with you and your family. So always remember that. Also, I want to hear some other things that y'all think that Clementine learned, or how and why she changed, and those kind of things, okay? I'd also be interested to see if y'all are wanting to read the other Clementine books. All right. Bye, guys. Have a good day.